Do me a favor. I'm a motivational speaker, so I need a lot more than that. How is everybody doing? Good. All right. All right, we're going to have some fun. Who went to church this morning? Don't lie. Whoa! All right. Well, if you didn't, you're about to have it now. It's about to get real. We're going to have some fun. I promise you these three things. I guarantee you. You will either laugh, cry, or feel something very, very emotional. Guarantee you. I wouldn't be doing this if you didn't get at least one of those today. We wouldn't be doing our jobs if you didn't experience one of those today. I started my business about 2 years ago, about a year before COVID. And the first year, all I thought about is, man, I'm going to be a motivational speaker. It was the coolest thing in the world. But first, how I started this company was, I started it by I had a little small event that were accountability partners, okay? It was a room with about 5 people, and my friend actually was running it. He goes, we're going to have an accountability group. We all need to be accountable for everything we do. So I started going to it, and then he's kind of like dropped out a little bit, and I said, I'll take over this. And then it got bigger, and bigger. And I said, man, I need to think of a name for this. And I came up with some ideas and talked to some of the people in the group. And I said, how about next level? Next level sounds good because we all want to take it to the next level, right? In everything we do, hopefully, we want to take it to the next level, right? And if you're not, eventually it's going to get on you and you're going to wonder why I'm staying in the same place I was last year. Has anybody been stuck before? Anybody been stuck? I think we all have at one time in our life. Here's the deal. You will learn to be unstuck here today. You will learn the tools to what it takes to be successful. Success means something different to every single one of you in this room. What is your success? Coaching has changed my life. When I started this company, man, before I started this company, I learned to be a coach by getting coached. I learned to be unstoppable by people that surrounded me. I surrounded myself with people that I wanted to be like. If you have people in your life that aren't lifting you up and holding you accountable, learn to love them from a distance. I'm not saying stop loving them, but love them from a distance. You can still love them from a distance. Too many people think, oh, they've been my friend my whole life. I just can't do that. That's my friend, man. Well, if your friend is really your friend, they will hold you accountable and they'll be excited when you say you have to grow. Okay? That's a real friend. Okay? So my company, what we do is we go around, we speak, and the number one thing we do, I'm just being real with you, it would not be happening today if it wasn't for our faith in God. Because that's number one. And if that's not what you do, that's fine with me. But that's how we lead it here, okay? Our team puts God first. And then everything else follows with it, okay? So here we go. I'm going to introduce to you our junior next level motivator speaker. Let's give it up for Arabella.
Hello everyone, how are you guys doing today?
We're good.
I can't hear you. That's what I'm talking about. How many of you guys here are parents?
Parents? Can't hear you.
Parents.
Oh, parents.
Well, some parents aren't lifting their kids up. Even though it's so easy and all you have to do is say these 3 things. I believe in you. You can do this. Break a leg. And that's how easy it is. Give me some love.
Now, hey, for her first time, that's pretty cool. Can we give it up for Arabella? Let me tell you something. Being on stage is scary. Okay? It's very, very scary. Not to me, but it's scary to most people. You know, the number 1 or 2 scariest thing people say when they took a survey was standing on stage. Because all your fears come true. You start thinking, oh my gosh, do I have something on my face? What are they thinking about me? Are they judging me? They don't even know who I am, right? We're terrified. But guess what? You don't have to come up here today. I'll do it for you. I'm going to tell you a story. Would it be okay if I tell you a personal story today?
Sure.
It'd be okay with you guys? Can I get real today? Is that all right? The reason I'm here today is because of my story. Every single one of you have a story. Do you believe that? How many of you got some crazy stories? Yeah. Okay. I'm going to tell you something. I love audience participation. Be real today. Be open. Just have fun. Don't worry about it, because ain't no one judging you in here today. We're all about to have fun. Because my story is worse than any story you could ever tell. Trust me. But the best part about my story is I'm here today and I'm different. Okay? So watch this. I'm about to get real with you. My story starts in kindergarten. Has anybody ever failed kindergarten? One. It's okay. He's laughing. I think that's funny. It wasn't funny to me back in the day. So my mindset at kindergarten started of I'm a failure. How many of you grew up thinking you're a failure? How many of you started thinking that when you were a young age?
Oh, yeah.
How many people told you you were?
Money.
How many people still believe you are? Guess what? You're not. Every single one of you in here was meant to be here today, at this moment, with me. Believe that. Trust me on that. I'm going to ask you a question. How many of you have went to church or heard a speaker and you said, oh no, oh, that was meant for me?
Oh, yeah.
Every single one of you, right? That message was meant for me. Did he know I was coming today?
Yep.
Man, how many times has that happened to you in your life? Me, quite a bit. I was like, oh, Lord, my first day back in church, and you got to say that? It was like meant for me. Then you go home and you forget all about it. Then you go back next week and you're like, oh. Here's the deal. I'm like a preacher, but I'm not. I'm going to be real with you. I'm going to tell you my story. So, kindergarten, I failed, right? Middle school and high school. Anybody know what SLD stands for? SLD. What does SLD stand for? Woo! Good. There's always one here that knows about it. They call it something different now, okay? It was called slow learning disability. I was in that class, the special class, okay? All the way through middle school and high school. I was different. I was cast aside as slow learning disability. Now guess what? You know what I thought SLD meant? The words SLD, the letters SLD. You know what that stood for in my life for a long, long time? No, I wish. Stupid, less than, degenerate. That's the way I felt about myself. Who fails kindergarten? Who fails kindergarten? I guess I couldn't tie my shoes. That's not funny though, man. It messes with you. So I failed kindergarten. I was in SLD classes. Stupid, less than, degenerate. That's the way I felt about myself. Anybody ever felt that way? Man, carrying that baggage through life is miserable. It's horrifying. So that's just the beginning. Stupid, less than, degenerate. So what does someone do in high school when they feel that way? Come on. Someone's got the answer. What do you do in high school when you feel stupid, less than, degenerate? You drop out. Stupid, less than, degenerate. I believed I was stupid. And honestly, I could take a test, but if it was timed, I would already I wouldn't be able to do it. So every test, important test, is timed. You got to have this done. As soon as I knew it was timed, I was already done. I couldn't do it. I couldn't get past that. So I dropped out. It didn't matter to me. I knew I was a loser anyways. You know what my dad said? This is the sad part. And my dad is an incredible man. My dad said, son, you just got to find a job. Because you know why? My dad dropped out. But back in the day, dropping out wasn't as a big deal. A lot of people in the 70s and 80s and 60s, they dropped out. That's what he told me. So I dropped out. Had about 50, 60, 70 different jobs. Didn't believe in myself, so I couldn't even hold a job. So what does someone do that drops out of high school? Can't have a job? They get married. Why not, right? I found someone that would accept me for my stupid, less than degenerate, and I was happy. So I got married at 21. And then I got divorced. And then I got married. And then I got divorced. And then I got married. And then I got divorced. And then I got married. Who can count? Who can count? That's only 4? That's only 4, guys. My bad. And then I got married. And then I got divorced.
How many kids?
That's 5. No kids. I took a bunch of steroids when I was younger, so I couldn't have kids. Watch this. 5 failed marriages. 5 failed marriages. Stupid, less than degenerate. Who am I? Who am I becoming, right? What do I have to give the world, right? So on my 5th marriage, woo! Talk about just done. Have you ever felt so broken you didn't want to be here anymore? Anybody felt that way? We all got a story. After my 5th marriage to that lovely woman in the black over there, our marriage failed. It was the most broken, poisonous, horrifying marriage. But we wanted it so bad to work. I've never wanted something so bad in my entire life. And I failed again. I went into that marriage saying, if this doesn't work, I don't know what's going to happen. This has to work. If this doesn't work, I'm done. I'm done. So what? It didn't work. I remember this moment. I feel it. I smell it. I breathe it in every single day. I will never, ever forget this moment. This is a true story. I was driving over the Skyway Bridge. And as I was driving over the bridge, I thought to myself, I don't want to be here anymore. I'm just tired of failing. I'm tired of it. When you carry tons and tons of baggage of what the world says to you and what you tell yourself, you get to a point where it's either shape up or ship out. And as I was driving over the Skyway Bridge, there was a moment that I slowed down, and I honestly swear on my life was wanting to just go off the side. I was done. I slowed down, and I said, if I never come home, who would care? What would matter? I'm a failure. But I didn't. For one particular reason. My faith in God. So I kept driving. I got a divorce. Divorce was final. I had to walk away. It just wasn't right. So I said to myself, either 2 things are going to happen. I'm going to change and dramatically change my life, or I'm done. So over the Skyway Bridge, I made a decision, I'm not done. I kept going. So I made a decision at that moment, I'm going to change. What did I do to change? I dramatically changed everything about my life. Let me tell you, folks, if you want to see dramatic changes, if you want to be different, you have to go all out. All out. No baby steps. I don't care what they tell you. You want to be real, baby steps doesn't work. You need to go all out. Change everything you do. If you really want to change. If you really, really want to change, you have to drastically change everything about you. Change the words that come out of your mouth. Go to counseling. Let go of your past. Here's the difference. Change the words about your past. Define your past in a different way. The words that you speak about your past, tweak them. Change them. Everything changes then. If your circle is with a bunch of people that say to you what they used to say to me, hey man, you just ain't found the right woman yet. Nah, that's not true. I had to find the right me. When you find the right you, everything changes. So I went crazy. I went to motivation. I spent thousands and thousands of dollars going to see the best motivational speakers in the world. Tony Robbins, Les Brown, everybody. And I started changing. I started getting involved in church. I changed my friends. Every word out of my mouth was different. But I had to make a consistent commitment to myself to do this every single day. I mean, drastically changes. No one noticed in the beginning. No one even looked. I put my head down and I changed everything about me. Because I was tired of living in my past. I got counseling for about 3.5 years. 5 years ago, this all started. After my divorce ended, I went crazy. I didn't care what people think. I put my head down. I had to work on me. Work on me. Work on me. Work on me. Work on you. 5 years ago, everything that me and my wife wanted, I had to work on. I had to work on it by myself. Because I was broken. When you're broken, you can't do much. So you got to work on yourself. Become your best version. So guess what I started? At that time, once I started going to all the motivational speaking and got involved in my church, I started my own company. I said, I'm going to do the things that we couldn't do by myself. We were going to buy a house. We were 3 days away from closing on the house while we were married. 3 days. 3 days away from closing on the house that we dreamed of while we were married. I walked out. I couldn't do it. I called them. I said, I know we're 3 days away, but I can't do this. It just doesn't feel right. I walked away, and my wife was crushed. And I walked out on her because I didn't know any better. I was broken. I'd have kept doing the same thing. I'd have been married 25 times. But you got to work on yourself. You got to want more. You have to believe you're worth more before you can do more. Trust me, folks. Working on yourself is so important. Don't focus on your wife. Don't focus on your husband. Focus on you. You have to be different. And when I started changing, 3 or 4 years later, I started people saying, man, something about you is different. What is going on with you? I said, man, I just want to be different. Then I started picking up quotes, telling myself every day, I'd walk around, blessed and unstoppable, you can't stop me. I started my own company. I started speaking everywhere. Anywhere you, I spoke in front of 2 people. I spoke in front of 280 people. I didn't care. I just wanted to get out there and speak. The more you say positive stuff, the more you talk, the more you surround yourself with people that you want to be like, the more you become. I wrote a book. It just got finished last week, folks. I wrote a book. I dropped out of high school. I failed kindergarten. But I just wrote a book. Now I own a company. You can't stop me. I'm blessed and unstoppable. I remarried my wife after 5 years. I had to work on myself. I was broken. We had to grow apart so we could grow together. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite to the stage my wife, LaCole Foster Hunter.